In about a week's time, it will be someone's birthday. No, not mine. Not any famous person either. In fact, the person whose birthday we're talking about doesn't even exist in real life. So, who is this person? Well, keep watching to find out more. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Amazing World of Archie. Today, I return with some good news. Diary of a Wimpy Kid PARTYPOOPER will be coming out on October 21st, and this means that it will also be Greg's birthday. Happy birthday, Greg! Before the book comes out though, we can get a glimpse of what is to come in the book, as we can now read the first few pages of the book. But before we get any further, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button for this video, so I can make more videos like this. Now, let's see the description of the book before we get to the pages. It's Greg's birthday, and you're invited to the chaos. In PARTYPOOPER, the 20th book in Jeff Kinney's global smash hit Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, Greg Heffley is planning the ultimate party for himself. But when the guest list grows, the decorations flop, and the surprises backfire, this birthday bash turns into a total blowout. Just not the kind Greg had in mind. Well, this party certainly seems to not go according to plan, according to the description of the book. But that's Diary of a Wimpy Kid for you. Greg and his family never go according to plan. So, with that, let's see the first few pages of this book before coming to conclusions too early. Wednesday. If you think about it, it's kind of weird that people even celebrate birthdays to begin with, because for most of us, the actual day of our birth isn't something to cheer about. 1 second you're floating around and minding your own business, and the next you're stark naked, surrounded by a bunch of people you've never even met. So right out of the gate, you start off in an embarrassing situation. 5 minutes later, you're wrapped in a blanket so tight that you can't move your arms or legs. And if you don't like the little knit hat they put on you, there's nothing you can do about it. Wrap. The only time they let you out of the blanket is to change your diaper, and that's when you find out you have zero privacy. Seriously? Just when you finally start to get used to everything, they tell you it's time to leave. And then you discover the world outside is a harsh place, and you're not the most important person in it. Back in ancient times, they didn't celebrate birthdays, and nobody even knew how old anyone was. So it was probably pretty crazy for a while. Glug glug glug. One day, someone must have announced it was their birthday, and that was the start of it all. It's my birthday. You all have to buy me presents. I guess the whole birthday thing was a popular idea, because the next thing you knew, parents were throwing around themed birthday parties for their kids to make the other parents jealous. Then some genius came up with the idea of selling cards on top of everything else. The cards were printed on thick paper, and sometimes there had jokes in them that older people thought were funny. Happy birthday, you old fart. Fa. Later on, someone invented thank you cards. If you didn't send one of those to the people who bought you gifts, It meant you were an ungrateful jerk. I'm not always great about sending thank you cards after my birthday. Some of my older relatives get pretty annoyed when I forget, and they'll let me know they noticed. When I do get around to writing my thank yous, people like my Aunt Nancy will send another card back, which is a little much if you ask me. Personally, I think writing a thank you card for every gift is way too much effort, not to mention it costs a lot of money in stamps and envelopes. So last year, I decided to say my thank you out loud to everyone gathered at my party, and I was pretty proud of myself for being efficient. Thanks to everyone gathered here for all of your thoughtful gifts. But Mom said I still had to write thank yous to everyone who got me a present, because she said the older generation likes that sort of thing. So when I wrote my thank yous, I added a little message at the end to cover me for a while. The problem is that you have a birthday once a year, so it feels like you're constantly writing thank yous. But on a planet like Jupiter, a person would only have a birthday every 12 Earth years, which would make staying on top of these things a whole lot easier. My great-uncle Albert actually celebrates his birthday a few times a year, because he forgets things pretty easily. So we try to cheer him up every time we see him at the nursing home. Look who came to visit you, Albert. Eh? I have a feeling that Uncle Albert is just faking it for the birthday cake though. But I like cake too, so his secret's safe with me. The problem with knowing how old you are is that you're constantly thinking how much time you've got left. There are all these commercials on TV that make you worry about getting older, and even though I'm not the target audience for these ads, sometimes I get worried I'm aging faster than I should be. No one likes unsightly age spots. So I started a skincare routine, just to try and stay ahead of things. I even used my mom's anti-aging cream before I went to bed every night, until I got busted. Now I'm kind of worried, because I'd only been using cream on my face when I should have been using it all over. I just hope I don't look ridiculous at the beach when I'm in my 70s. I know exactly what I'm going to look like if I let myself age naturally though. Roderick has one of those age filter apps on his phone, and I made the mistake of checking how I'll look when I'm middle-aged. But there are ways to slow things down. This kid at my lunch table named Albert Sandy says that if you fly around the world from right to left, you go back in time. And if you keep going in that direction, you can actually reverse your age. He said one person ended up flying too far and got younger than they wanted. And I wouldn't want that to happen to me, because middle school is hard enough without having to wear a diaper. Suck. That's all for the time being. Stay tuned to my channel to get a more detailed look at the book once it comes out, but don't forget to buy it in stores near you as well. If you are interested in other books I make content about, look out for any further updates. Signing off. See you in a week's time.